शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। Namaste. Now we will see the Shankara Bhashya on verse 4, Shloka 4 of Shri Vishnu Sahasranama. The verse is like this. Sarvasharvashivasthanur Sambhavo Bhavano Bharta Prabhavah Prabhurishwaraha. Now, based on the Bhashya, the namas are 12 in number. 12 names of Bhagavan Narayana can be seen. The names are like this: Sarvaha, Sharvaha, Shivaha, Thanuhu, Bhutadihi, Avyayaha, Nidhihi. In the source, you see Nidhir Avyayaha. Based on the Bhashya, the words have to be rearranged like this: Avyayaha Nidhihi, and it pertains to one nama. And then Sambhavaha, Bhavanaha, Bharta, Prabhavaha, Prabhuhu, Ishvaraha. So we get 12 names of Bhagavan Vishnu. Let us now see the meanings of these one by one. The first term is Sarvaha. Now, the commentary to this reads like this: Asatascha sataschapi sarvasya prabhavapyayat sarvasya sarvada jnanat sarvamenam prachakshate iti Bhagavad Vyasa Vachanat Sarvaha. The meaning: for everything that is real and unreal, he is the cause of existence or appearance and dissolution or disappearance. And as he knows everything at all times, he is called as Sarva. By these words of sage Vyasa, he is denoted as Sarva. Now, everyone is aware that Sarva means all or everything. So, here Bhagavan Narayana is denoted as a Sarva. And in what sense? For Asat and also Sat, that which is just an appearance and that which is real, that which is unreal and that which is real, which includes the Sarva, and Prabhava Apyayat. And because he is the cause of appearance, Prabhava means emergence, Apyaya means dissolution. So as Bhagavan is the cause of Prabhava and Apyaya of all that is real and imaginary, and also Sarvasya Sarvada Jnanat, as he knows, Jnana is knowledge, he knows Sarva, everything, and Sarvada, always, and hence Yenam Sarvam Prachakshate, he is known as Sarva, knowing everything at all times, knowing everything which is real and unreal, and being the cause of everything which is imaginary and real. So by all these, Bhagavan is denoted as Sarva. This is actually a verse from the Mahabharata. And based on that Mahabharata quotation, the word sarva is explained here. Now we move to the second term, sharvaha. The bhashya is shrinati samhara samaye samharati samharayati sakalaha prajaha iti sharvaha. Shrinati destroys. During the time of dissolution or pralaya, the one who destroys, takes back, or makes others destroy all the beings is Sharva. So Sharva is derived from the verbal form Shrinati. Shrinati means to destroy, to do himsa, which is to annihilate. So Shrinati iti Sharvaha, the one who destroys. When does he destroy? Samhara samaye, not at all times. When the time of samhara comes, when the time of pralaya comes, he does the samhara, samharati. He himself does the samhara, or he um, indicates, or he does that samhara through someone else. So samharati, he himself does the samhara, or he does it through some agent. So samhara samaye. So this is the meaning of the word sharva, who causes annihilation or absorption of everything during the pralaya samaya. That is Sharvaha. Third one is Shivaha. Commentary is Nistraigunyataya Shuddhatvat Shivaha. Being free from the three gunas and hence pure. He is Shiva. So it's known to everyone that according to the Yoga Sankhya philosophy, there are three gunas that govern both the microcosm and the macrocosm. The three gunas are Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. And it is the three gunas that causes creation, imbalances, and all sorts of activity in the world. So Bhagavan is beyond the three gunas, Nistraigunyataya, and hence he is pure and auspicious. Acharya further says, Sa Brahma, Sa Shivaha, Sa Harihi, Sendraha, Ityabhedopadeshat, Shivadi Namabhihi Harireva Stuyate. This is a very important point. Words like Brahma, Shiva, and Indra, all these terms are there. Shiva is a name for Parameshwara, but still in this Vedic quotation, Sabrahma, Sashivaha, Saharihi, we see that even by terms like Shiva, Hari is praised. So essentially, Acharya indicates that there is no difference between Shiva and Hari. Shiva is a name for Hari also. Next, the fourth term is Sthanuhu. Acharya says Sthiratvat Sthanuhu. Being steady, Sthira. He is Sthanu. So Sthanu means Sthira, unchanging. Again, it should be noted that Sthanu is another name for Shiva, popularly used to denote Bhagavan Shiva also. So the same explanation or indication that Shiva, Vishnu are one and the same is indicated by this name also, Sthanuhu. The next term is Bhutadihi. Bhutanam Adikaranatvat bhutadihi. Being the primordial cause of all the elements or beings, he is bhutadi. So there are two terms, bhuta and adi. Bhuta can either mean the Panchabhutas, and also Bhuta can refer to all the living beings. So in Sanskrita, Bhuta is used to denote both these. Bhutani, the beings, living beings, and Bhutani, the Panchabhutani. So that is Bhuta, and Adi means the beginning or the primordial cause. So Adi, Acharya explains Adi Karana. So for both the elements and also the living beings, he is the primordial cause. Hence, Bhagavan Narayana is denoted by the term Bhutadihi. The next term, in the shloka you will see Nidhir Avyayaha. Acharya, Shankaracharya, Shankara Bhagavad Padacharya indicates that they have to be rearranged like this. Avyayaha Nidhihi. So let us see. So here we see that Nidhihi is the noun and Avyayaha is the qualifying term or the adjective. So based on this, we see the commentary. प्रलयकाले अस्मिन् सर्वं निधीयते इति निधिः. So the derivation is nidhiyate iti nidhihi. In the time of dissolution, the one in which everything gets established or gets deposited is nidhi. So nidhiyate essentially means to establish or to deposit. So Bhagavan is Nidhi. It is in him that everything gets established or everything gets back or gets deposited back during the Samaya of Pralaya. Everything gets absorbed into him and everything is present. The point here is that it is not total annihilation. Nothing will go absolutely out of existence. Everything will go and get established in the form of the substratum, that is Bhagavan. And hence that Bhagavan, Narayana, into whom everything gets absorbed, and later it will emerge again from him, and that source of deposit or that source of establishment of everything is called as Nidhihi, and that is none other than Bhagavan Narayana. Hence he is Nidhihi. And then the term Avyayaha, sa eva Nidhihi Visheshyate. The same term Nidhi, which indicates Bhagavan Narayana, Visheshyate, is qualified. Avyayaha Anashvaraha Nidhihi Ityarthaha. The word Avyaya is an adjective to the word Nidhi. Avyaya means Anashvara, imperishable, indestructible. The Nidhi, the source, the substratum, the Lord in which all the beings get established is imperishable. So an imperishable source or substratum is Avyayaha Nidhihi. So in general term, Nidhi can also be seen as wealth, and he is an imperishable wealth. Bhagavan Narayana, in a general sense of the word, we can see that Narayana is an imperishable wealth. The next term, Sambhavaha. The commentary is Swechaya Samichinam Bhavanam Asya Iti Sambhavaha. The one whose birth is beautiful, wonderful, and is out of his own will is Sambhava. So the word Sambhava is made up of, essentially is derived from Samichinam Bhavanam Asya. Sam indicates Samichinam, Bhava indicates Bhavanam. Samichinam means beautiful, wonderful, and Bhavanam means emergence or birth. So the the emergence or the birth of Bhagavan itself is beautiful and wonderful. One is reminded of the Krishna Leela and Swechaya. Also, the word Sam, Acharya says, indicates Swechaya. Why is the Lord born? Why is this beautiful birth of Bhagavan? It is out of his own will. He is not constrained by any karma for which he has to take birth. It is out of his own ichha. And also, his birth is also samichinam, which is wonderful. To substantiate this derivation, Acharya Shankaracharya quotes from probably Mahabharata. अथ दुष्टविनाशाय साधूनां रक्षणाय च स्वेच्छया संभवाम एवं गर्भदुःखविवर्जितः. So, in the context of explaining the term sambhava, you can see in the quotation that swechaya sambhava, out of his own will he takes birth. And also we see sambhavami yuge yuge in the quotation. He is born again and again. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So what is wonderful there? What is samichinam there? The protection of the sadhus and the samhara of the dushtas. That is the samichinam in his birth there. Hence, that verse, that is the wonder, that is the beauty or the greatness of the birth, that is protection of the good and the destruction of the evil. So that samichinam, that wonderful feat is achieved in the birth of Bhagavan. Hence, it is not mere bhavanam, it is sambhavaha. The next term, bhavanaha. Sarvesham bhoktrinam phalani bhavayati iti bhavanaha. The one who grants the results of actions to all the experiencers. So bhokta means experiencers, the jivatmas. So to all the jivatmas, he is the one who grants the results of their actions. He is the one who dispenses the karma phala. To substantiate this, we see Acharya quoting from Brahma Sutra, Phalamata Upapattehe. In that sutra, how Bhagavan is the one who grants karma phala is discussed and established. Bhavanaha. The next term, Bharta. Prapanchasya adhishthanatvena Bharanat Bharta. So the derivation is Bharanat Bharta, being the substratum of the universe, the one who supports it is Bharta. So Bharta generally means the one who supports. Bharanam, to support. So how does Bhagavan support all of us? By being the very substratum of not only our existence, of the existence of the entire universe, being the substratum or the basis of our existence. He is our Bharta. The 10th term in verse 4 is Prabhavaha. Prakarshena Mahabhutani Asmat Jayante iti Prabhavah. The one from whom the great elements especially emerge is called as Prabhava. So, Prabhavaha, Prakarshena, especially Mahabhutani, the great elements, that is Prithvi, Vayu, Akasha, Agni, and all these 5 great elements, Asmat Bhavanti Jayante, they emerge from him, and hence they are called as Bhagavan is called as Prabhava. So these, the role of all the 5 elements is known to everyone. We are all Pancha Bhautikas. Without the 5 elements, our existence is not there. So these 5 very elements emerge from, especially emerge from Bhagavan. Hence, he is Prabhava. And then the second interpretation to Prabhava is Prakrishtaha Bhavaha Janma Asya iti va. So the one whose birth is special. So one can recollect the previous interpretation, Samichinam Bhavanam. The one whose birth is special. Prakrishtaha, Prabhava, Prabhava. Pra here means Prakrishta. Prakrishta is special. Bhava is birth. So unlike others, his birth is special. His birth is celebrated. His birth is worth remembering. His birth is worth meditating, and hence he is Prabhava. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, we see Janma Karma cha me divyam. So his birth is divine, that is celebrated in Bhagavad Gita. Hence, he is Prabhava. So being the cause of the 5 elements, he is Prabhava. The one whose birth is special, he is Prabhava. Then the 11th term is Prabhuhu. Prabhuhu is explained as Sarvasu Kriyasu Samarthyatishayat Prabhuhu. The one who has great capability in all actions is Prabhuhu. Prabhu generally means the Lord or the leader. Who becomes the Lord or the leader? The one who is, whose capability in each and every action is better or superlative than the others. Great capability. Samarthya Atishaya. Samarthya is capability. Samarthya Atishaya. Great capability in what? Sarvasu Kriyasu. In all actions. So one looks into the life of Bhagavan Krishna, Krishna's Leela. So be it a charioteer or be it the role of a kingmaker, he displays, Bhagavan displays great capability. So one might remember the definition, Yogaha Karmasu Kaushalam. Yoga is a skill in action. So the one who really is endowed and displays that skill in his action becomes Prabhu. And Bhagavan Vishnu, Bhagavan Narayana, in his avatara, especially in Krishna, Krishna avatara, we see how he has been a great Prabhu, endowed with great capability in whatever he does. That is Prabhu. Then the 12th term in this Nama, Ishvaraha. Nirupadhikam Aishwaryam Asya iti Ishvaraha. The one who is endowed with limitless powers is Ishvara. So Nirupadhikam, without limit. Aishwaryam, power. So the one who is endowed with limitless powers, he is Ishvara. To substantiate this derivation, Acharya quotes from the Mandukya Upanishad, where he says, Esha Sarveshwaraha. The Lord Bhagavan is Sarveshwara. He is the all powerful. The entire Mandukya verse is like this: Esha Sarvagnya, Eshontaryam, Esha Yonihi, Sarvasya Prabhavapyayohi Bhutanam, and so on. It continues. And Esha Sarveshwaraha also is found in the same verse. In the Vishwarupa Darshana, 11th chapter, we see how he displays in his Vishwarupa the great powers. So Bhagavan is Ishvara. So these are the 12 names in the 4th verse of Vishnu Sahasranama. Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Krishnarpanamastu.